and that is growing our trade and our economies, the importance of NAFTA, and building on our common interests. The Canada-U.S. relationship is strong, balanced, and beneficial to both of our great nations. We're the envy of the world, and there's good reason for that. Our friendship plays out on so many levels: federal, provincial, state, territorial, industry, and academic. That's really where the rubber hits the road on trade and other pillars of our relationship, and that is at the provincial and state level. That is why all of you in this room are so critical to the success of the industry in both of our countries. Last year, your member states and provinces contributed a full 20% to the overall trade in agriculture and food between Canada and the United States. Our mutual cooperation has created an environment where Canada and Canadian and American companies don't just sell things to each other. More and more companies are making things together. Just for an example, let's talk about the beer. When I travel, I have agricultural tasters that come with me. And we were tasting your beer last night, and the fact is the hops come probably from British Columbia. They come down here and you make the beer. And I guess the truth is we buy the most of it back. But anyway. And I understand we're one of your biggest purchasers of wine, and there's certainly great wines in this country. We had a great evening last night, and we tasted a lot of your wines, and without a doubt, we had a wine expert with us on a specialty on this trip. Last year, some $47 billion in agriculture and food products crossed our borders. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. That amounts to over $10 million we're just here today. We trade most agriculture and food products. We trade more agriculture and food products with each other than anybody else in the world. Over 2/3 of the U.S. states count on Canada as their #1 export. Right across the United States, some 9 million jobs depend on trade and investment with Canada, including almost 400,000 jobs across the states. And I can assure you that same thing and issue is the same in our country. Your investment in our country creates jobs in our country. And you value add to our product. Perhaps part of it is done in Canada, then more is done in the U.S. It can come back to Canada to be finished and sold in both countries. It's certainly a gem working together. I've thrown around a lot of numbers, but these numbers tell a pretty important story. If we grow our trade, we grow our economies together. The sector creates jobs, and with that we put more money in the pockets of our farmers, families, and our communities. Now, we're friends and, of course, allies, and we're also members of NAFTA, and the benefits stretch beyond our borders.